So, today's victim of choice is a box that used to have red cards in it. Much like the box of white cards, the most recent thing found in it is stuff from Arcadian Masks. Coming across all sorts of obscure stuff, some things that I had more of than I thought I did, and others that I ended up with less of than I thought I would have. Kind of weird, but that's okay. Pair of one original Crimson Cobalt and one Italian Faint Immolation. One thing coming across it is, back during Fallen Empires and Ice Age, for the most, to a lesser extent, mostly those two blocks. Blocks. Fallen Empires wasn't a block, but yeah, during the Ice Age and Alliances and Fallen Empires, then a couple of the older expansions, you see a fair number of orcs. You don't really see them anymore. You really don't. I think there were some in Cold Snap, but I haven't touched any Cold Snap in a long time. For that matter, I barely touched Cold Snap, so I honestly can't speak much for it. I wish I could speak more informed on Cold Snap, but I can't. And I didn't, start looking any up in preparation for this. All these videos are really off the cuff. They are. That are just stuff that I thought of while sorting through the cards, and hey, oh well. Which is one of the reasons why I do make as many brain farts as I do while I'm making these videos as well, because it really is pretty much off the cuff. But, hey, it's one of those things. Orcs, not around so much. In fact, rarely if ever used anymore. Completely supplanted by goblins, one might even say. But, it's just the direction the game went in. Some of the things you come across, here we go. Something I wanted to mention here. Wildfire Emissary. 3 colors and a red for a 2/4 pro white, and if you pump a color and a red into him, he gets +1/+0 till end of turn. You can do this multiple times. So he's got a slightly over-costed version of fire breathing, but it used to be popular back in the day. For 2 basic reasons. Number 1, his 4 toughness put him outside of lightning bolt range. Number 2, protection from white meant he was immune to swords to plowshares. That basically he pretty much sat there and said, hey, you know what, the 2 most popular targeted removal cards around? Yeah, neither of them do anything to me. Well, I wouldn't say anything, but yeah, Bolt wasn't widely used on him. Speaking of changes over the years, one of the things I came across in here someplace is, is it anywhere near the top at all? I don't know. Where is it? Bloody hell. See if I can't find this. There it is. Found it. There it is, folks. That is from the second pre-release I ever went to. That is a Exodus pre-release Monsters Hound. Can't really, you can't really make out the date on it, but it says pre-release 698. Second pre-release I went to first was Tempest. One of the weird things I've noticed is when it comes to pre-releases, I usually will either make the first and third parts of a block and not the middle, or the middle and that's it. I don't know why this is, but that's the way it's worked out for the most part. If I had an answer for this, I'd give it. It boggles the mind a little bit, but what can you do? I'm trying to remember what was the last pre-release I went to. Last pre-release I went to was Besiege. So if I actually make it to the new Phyrexia pre-release, it'll be the first time I've hit the middle set of a pre-release and also made the third. Also, one of these days I'll have to hit the first set of a block for a pre-release and and make the other two. That'd be nice. Speaking of the Tempest pre-release, something I wanted to mention. I'm glad I managed to segue into it. These are original Dark. I'm pretty sure they were both reprinted in Chronicles and/or base sets afterwards. But we've got Sisters of the Flame. It's a colorless and 2 red for 2/2 that taps for red mana. And Brothers of Fire, same mana cost, same power toughness. You pump a colorless and 2 red into it, and it deals 1 damage to target creature or player and 1 to yourself. This is the Flame creature type sister. Well, sisters. Brothers of Fire is creature type brothers. Now, I think they've been eroded to be like clerics or monks or something crazy like that. I don't know. But I remember at the Tempest pre-release that shortly beforehand they released like official rulings, I want to say a few months maybe, stating that creature types, for the purposes of what's the same and what's different, ignored gender and plurality. So for example, a sorceress was the same as a sorcerer, and sorcerers were also counted as sorcerer. So for example, you could have sorcerers and sorceress being the same creature type. All well and good. So I remember at the Tempest pre-release, just for sheer obscurity, I called over one of the judges and I said, okay, it's been announced that, you know, creature type ignores gender and plurality, right? And he's like, yeah. Okay, so Sisters of Fire, creature type is sisters. Yep. I'm sorry, Sisters of Flame, creature type is sisters. Brothers of Fire, creature type is brothers. So what does that make them? Yes, their creature type is sibling. I don't know. I'll have to actually look that up later, just for craps and giggles. Oh, jeez. At any rate, for those who want to know how progress is coming, I've got 2 boxes of black, this box of blue. That says it's red as well. Oh, beauteous. This huge box and that 4-row box and that other box of miscellaneous junk. So, yeah. So, everything from here to here, that's been sorted. Or at least broken down by block. Once I finish getting everything broken down by block, I'm gonna like go hardcore into getting it all divided into individual sets and so forth down from that into the my final sorting scheme. And I really gotta say, I need to get back into, like, I need to jump ahead to that section of the sorting scheme again really soon, because a lot of these boxes are running out of space. I've got blocks bleeding out of 1,000 count boxes into other boxes, and it's getting wacky. Getting wacky. Oh well. Have a good night, fellas.